Hello and welcome to Drummer's Review. I'm Nolly and today we're looking at a Ludwig Black Beauty 14 by 6.5 inch snare drum. The Ludwig Black Beauty is a snare with a lot of history. This is a drum that dates back to the 1930s, although initially it came out under another name. They ceased production for a few decades actually, but brought them back in the 70s, and since then they've been just about the most popular snare drum, or certainly one of the most desirable ones. They've got an instantly recognizable sound. They are a studio staple. Almost any studio worth its salt is going to have at least one Black Beauty hanging around. And similarly, if you're a collector of snare drums, you've probably got at least one or two of your own too. The Black Beauty has a 1.2mm black nickel plated beaded brass shell, and in its standard configuration comes with imperial lugs and triple flange hoops. As the Black Beauty has such a recognizable sound, we decided to do this video as a reference point when you're checking out our other snare drum reviews. The Black Beauty's retail price has really gone up recently. They cost over $1,000 new. However, there is a huge number of used ones always going on eBay of all ages, so definitely check used too. So with all that out of the way, let's check out how the Black Beauty sounds in a few different tunings. The first thing that strikes me with this drum is simply the familiarity. Everyone knows what they look like, everyone knows what they sound like, so straight away, when you take it out of the box and hit it, you know exactly what you've got in front of you. The Black Beauty isn't the most striking drum visually. It's fairly understated, if anything, but that black nickel finish, of course, gives it the name, and to me also makes it a bit of a chameleon. You could put it with pretty much any kit, you could take it into any situation, whether it's a jazz gig, a metal gig, and it's always going to look just about right. We chose to show you this drum with a Remo controlled sound reverse dot batter head. This is a really popular choice, especially with this drum, particularly because it's quite a ringy sounding snare. That dot just helps dry up the hits as you're hitting dead in the center of the drum. Black Beauties are somewhat stubborn beasts to tune. They often have a bit of a wobble, a bit of wonkiness to them, but that's all part of the charm of the sound. It just takes a bit of time to really get them nailed in. However, they sing pretty much throughout the tuning range. So you can do almost anything you want tuning-wise with this drum and you'll be happy with the end result. The sound of this drum is all about mid-range projection for me. It's got a ton of ring to it, but that mid-range means it cuts through pretty much any mix. Combined with that, it is a metal drum, so it's got a nice pop to the front end. It's just not as harsh as you might think when you think of a metal drum. Having a thin metal shell, this drum has a great attack, but it's also still really warm and resonant. For us, we thought that all the three tuning ranges sounded fantastic. However, the low and the high tuning were perhaps the most characterful. The low has that instant, ringy, wet character that you've heard on countless rock, blues records, and the high has a really nice pock to it for that kind of funky attack. Equally, the high tuning is going to suit really well to metal or other up-tempo styles. It's definitely worth saying that pretty much no matter how you tune this drum, there's going to be an iconic sound there. So it's definitely a drum that could suit basically any style, and perhaps that's why they're so popular in the studio. Construction-wise, there's nothing to complain about with these drums. They're really well made. The only little gripe that I have is with the strainer system, which is very wobbly once you throw off the lever. So it's often very finicky to get it back up into place again. A lot of people end up switching out their strainers for aftermarket designs these days for that very reason. The Black Beauty certainly stood the test of time, and one of the testaments to that is how many times it's been copied as well. Almost every major drum manufacturer out there has their own sneaky version of a Black Beauty. A lot of them have that same black nickel finish as well, but if you look at Pearl, Tama, World Max, I think even Pork Pie, and loads of other brands, they've all got drums that are very similar in construction and look to the Black Beauty. And that really is just a testament to how great a drum it is. Given how many great alternatives there are out there, £1,000 for the Ludwig Black Beauty is definitely quite a steep price. I think if I was going to be in the market for one, I'd probably look on the used market and grab myself a bargain there. So overall for me, the very best thing about this drum has to be the sound. It sounds great in every tuning, and just no matter what you do with it, you know you've heard that sound on record before. My least favorite thing would probably be that strainer. I just don't really feel it's befitting of a drum of this status and price range to have such a fiddly and dated design. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this review of the Black Beauty drum. Definitely subscribe for more reviews, leave us a comment, and I'll see you next time at Drummers Review.